Hey everyone, welcome back. We did page 6 in our last video, and today we are going to do page 7 out of 8 in our mini album. We are using this guide from my shop for mini album 2. It's available on my Etsy shop. You do not need it. I'm giving you all the measurements. However, if you'd like to purchase it, I'd certainly appreciate it. I think you find it useful. It does have some information about various basics, and then it has every page with a cutting guide, and it's illustrated. And today we're going to be doing page 7. So let me get that out. And there are also some templates in the back for the envelope that we're using, and some tags and some other things. Okay. Set that aside. Show you what we're making and what we have made. Right, so this was page 1, page 2, got it upside down, page 3, page 4, page 5, and we did page 6 last time. So now today we're going to be doing page 7. And let me show you that page. This is the prototype book. This is Prima Love Story. We are using Sunkissed in the new version from Graphic 45. All right, so this is the page that we're doing, and as you can see, it has seam binding, and if you've been watching, you know that it's been my nemesis the last couple of pages, so we'll attempt to do a better job with it this time. Okay, so we have, for this page, it's basically just a whole lot of flaps. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 flaps. Okay, and there is a magnet, it's on this one. And you could put a magnet in this, but that's an awful lot of layers to hold down. So I went ahead and used the seam binding. Right. Tie that. Okay, so let me set that aside. And let me give you the measurements of what you're going to need. We have used 3 of our 4 base pages that we made in part 1. So you're going to need the last base page, which has an opening at each end, one for the spine and one for the side pocket where we're going to put some tags. So that's your base page, you need that. Then you're going to need to cut from cardstock. There's 2 of each of the outside flaps. So you're going to need 2 that are 5 inches by 4.5 inches. Those are the 2 large flaps. You're going to need 2 that are 4 inches by 4.5 inches. Those are the small flaps. Then for the inner flaps, you're going to need a large inner flap that's 6 inches by 5.5 inches. And you're going to need a small inner flap that's 6 inches by 3.5 inches. Okay? So let's take all of our flap pieces. Set aside the base for now. So we'll do some scoring. Let's get our scoreboard out and get to scoring. Okay, so let me sort these out. That's the large inner flap, that's the small inner flap, and these are the 2 large outer flaps, and these are the 2 small outer flaps. All right, so let me grab my scoring tool. So for the large flaps, you want the 5-inch, see? You want the 5-inch edge in your scoreboard along the top edge, and you want to score it at 1/2 inch. Okay, you have 2 of these pieces. Score both of those at 1/2 inch. Okay. Then you want to take the small flaps with the 4-inch edge along the top. That's 4.5, so this is the 4. And you're going to score that at 1/2 inch. And you're going to do the same, the 4-inch edge, score it at 1/2 inch. All right, that's those flaps. And then you're going to take these large inner flaps and you're going to put them, let me think, the 6-inch, let me double check. I believe it's this 5.5, no, the 6-inch edge. No, I'm wrong. With the 5.5, and score it at 1/2. Okay, and then you want to take the smaller flap with the 3.5 and score it at 1/2. Okay, all right, so that takes care of all of our scoring. All right, so now, I think I mentioned before, when you score, you end up with one side that has a little bump and one that has a little divot, and I do like to fold my pieces towards the bump. Fold all your pieces and burnish. Now, you've got 2 sets of pieces here. You've got your outer flaps and your inner flaps, and they're going to be done slightly differently. The inner flaps are going to be done with the tape on the outside because they're going to flip up like this, right? So that you need to tape this side. I'm going to grab my tape and show you what I mean. These pieces, you're going to do this one the same way on the outside. These pieces are going to be inserted into your base page, and they need to have the tape, oops, let me make sure I'm on camera. These need the tape on the inside because they're going in here, and the tape needs to be facing up, okay? So, let me show you one of those. And with these, you want to keep the tape close to the edge, the cut edge, rather than the fold line. Okay. Just like that. Okay, I'm gonna tape all of these and I'll be right back. Okay, we have got everything taped and I have trimmed the corners of all the flaps. So for now, I'm going to set these 2 large inner flaps aside, and we're going to take these outer flaps, and these work a little differently. You're going to pair these up, a large and a small, and a large and a small. I'm going to set aside 1 pair for now. And what we're going to do is we're going to attach the inner flap, or the smaller of the 2 flaps, to the outer flap. Okay, so you're going to do that. Removing that tape, line up. These are the same height. They're different widths, but they're the same height. So just line up the edges, squeeze them together, just like that. All right, and then fold it again. Give it a good burnish. Okay. So now you have this situation, okay? Let's repeat it for the other one. Because we haven't matted these yet, they don't have a top and bottom, so you don't have to worry about that. Then we're going to line the edge up carefully, and line this edge up carefully, and press them together. Okay. Now, let's give this a good burnish. There's a lot of bulk along this seam now, so you want to give it a good burnish. All right. Okay. Now, there's no top and bottom because we haven't done any other page on this base. So this is going to go in here. So we're going to check it for fit. see if there's any trimming that needs to be done. And it feels pretty good. All right, so I'm going to remove the tape. And I'm going to insert it in here up to, but not past the score line. Otherwise, you will have trouble making this flip as it should. Okay, do you see that? You see where I'm just up to, but not past. Sorry, I'm out of center here today. That, and then pinch it down. Okay. See that? So now you have a flap and a flap. All right. And we're just going to do the exact same thing on the other side. Check it for fit first. Once you get the tape off, you don't have a lot of leeway to play with it. All right, that fits well. And let us insert that up to, but not past the score line. Okay, and then press. All right. Now, the way this page is going to work is it's going to be this sort of interleaved, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. Now, if you want, you can do them 2 and 2, but I like the interleave like that. All right. Now, the inner pockets go here. Oops, looks like I cut that one too long. Okay, let me trim that. Make sure I've got my measurement right on that. Let me see. Yeah, I definitely cut that too long. It's like a 1/2 inch off. All right, so let me cut a 1/2 inch off of that. Figure out what I did wrong, and I'll be right back. Okay, well, the measurement in the guide is right. I just cut it wrong. So it is 5 inches, this large inner flap, by 6 inches, 5 by 6. The camera stopped recording, so I think that we got to the point where we had added these side flaps and we needed to add these large inner flaps. Okay, so this piece, and when I went to put this piece on, I discovered it was 1/2 inch long, so I think I gave you the wrong measurement. So this inner flap should be 6 by 5, not 6 by 5 1/2, okay? And then it just gets applied at the top, just like that. All right, so I think you missed that part. And you'll see how to do it because we're gonna do this one. This is the shorter flap, and it is going to go right on top like that. Okay, and I'm gonna turn it upside down and just line up the upper edges, just like that. Okay, so we have all of our flaps. 1, 2, 3, 4, like that, okay? So we can go ahead and add this magnet, and then we're gonna add the mats, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and grab a couple of magnets. I think I just have a couple left in this package, the large ones. I need to order some more magnets. This particular album doesn't use too many, but I do seem to go through a lot of magnets. All right, throw that out. All right, so we want the magnet to be in the middle, side to side, and I would say in the top 1/3 or so of this mat. You don't want it too close to the edge, or you won't really be able to hide it under the mat. So, can you see? I don't think I'm off screen. So I think we're going to put it not quite center, but up just a hair. Actually, let me see where it's going to end up. Okay, yeah, that's fine. So just peel the backing off your magnet. And you can use extra tape or adhesive or whatever if you want. And I can show you. Sometimes what I'll do is just take a piece of score tape and put it over the top like this. as extra security. Sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't. I've never had a problem with my magnets, but if you just want to be sure. And let me grab a couple scraps of paper here so you can get the magnet off. Because these do stick pretty tightly. So I'll put that there, and I'm gonna put that, whoops, hang on. That's not right, that's not what I'm doing at all. Hang on. This way. Okay, I don't know if you can see that. Put it on the inside. Okay, let me slide those up. Okay, so it's right there. Take this back off. And then when you're flipping this, because you've got two layers, you want to be careful that the magnet does not shift and that it's right where you want it and that these pieces are flat before you press it down. Okay, there we go. And this is going to get covered, of course, with a mat. In the meantime, I think, though, I will keep a scrap of paper in there. Okay, and these are going to get held with the ribbons, and those go under the mats. And I'm going to go ahead and put those in now because the last couple of pages, I have either forgotten the ribbons or put them in the wrong places. So I'm just going to do it now. And again, I keep calling them ribbons, but it's seam binding, and certainly you could use ribbons or twine or string or baker's twine, whatever you like. And these are going to go centered on these two outer mats with the ribbon tails, oops, I hit my light, with the ribbon tails going out, all right? So let's get a piece of tape for each of those. It's gonna go centered. And don't put it right up against the edge because there's gonna be that gap where your mat leaves a border. If that makes any sense. Right. So stuck there. Perfect. Okay. So let's put this one here. That. This one on top of that one. Okay, and then the mat, of course, is going to go on top of that. And then these will come over and tie. Alrighty. All right, I'm going to pick out some mats, clean up a little bit here, and I will be right back. I'm back. I have chosen my mats and cut them and went ahead and inked them up. And there are a lot of mats on this page. So if you are trying to save on your paper or reduce bulk in the book, this is the page where you could do it. You don't have to use both of these flaps. You could use just the small ones or just the large ones, or a large one and a small one. Same with the middle. You could leave these out entirely. You could just use one or the other, but not both. So that's some ways you could, if you wanted to save on some of the paper that you'll need for matting this many pages, that's a way you could do it. All right, so let's start with this side, I think. And let me grab the mats. All right. Alrighty. So this one is going to go here. And let's go ahead and do that. And the mats, let me give you your measurements. Oh, and while I was cutting my mats, I realized that I had given you a wrong measurement in the book. I have fixed it, so if you have already purchased the book, please go ahead and download it again so that you have the right measurements. I apologize for that. And anytime, if you have purchased the book and you have any questions or something just doesn't seem right, please do reach out to me and I'll do whatever I can to help you with it. All right, this one is going here, right on top of that ribbon that we put in place already. And I'm going to flip that over so I can get it kind of flat. Okay. All right, and then the inside of that is going to be this one. All right, and be careful if you've got a directional paper. This is going to be the top. So you want to make sure you get it going in the right direction. Oops. Maybe one more finger. Slide that over so you can see. And let's get that right side up. And I'm using art glitter glue to put down my mats. It's pretty much the only thing I ever use to put down mats. I don't care for the, what is it, the ATG tape gun. I just don't like it. So I just use glue. And then I think I'm going to put this journaling card right here. This is from the ephemera pack. Put that there and that there. And I just glued it to a piece of the artisan navy cardstock that I've been using from Country Craft Creations. And I'm not sponsored in any way, but it's just beautiful cardstock and I really like it. And I mentioned, I think in another video, this is the navy color, but you could also go with the denim, which is really pretty with this collection. It's a little bit lighter than the navy. I'm just going to put a solid piece of the cardstock here. It'll make a nice background for a photo. Oops. I don't know if I don't think I have mentioned, as I said, I got this from Country Craft Creations. There are a number of online shops that I purchased from. Scrapbook.com is a good one. But if you're interested in sort of the online social interaction, Country Craft Creations has a wonderful Facebook group, and they do free tutorials a couple of times a week right on the group. It's a lot of fun, and people are very nice, so you might want to give it a search on Facebook. Okay, so on this side, I'm going to put this one here. And in terms of social media, I do have a Facebook page, which is just the Quiet Cat Paper Company, or Quiet Cat Paper Co. And also on Instagram, the same name, the Quiet Cat Paper Co. And I'd be pleased to have you join me there and keep up with some of these pages before the videos go live. And of course, if you're making a book from this pattern, I would love to see it. Just go ahead and tag me in social media. Probably Instagram's probably the best bet for that, but I am on Facebook, so that would work too. Okay, and let's see, this one's going to go like this. Okay, and this is another one where I used one of the ephemera cards and I just glued it to a piece of cardstock. And I'm going to use a piece of the plain cardstock here. And here we go. Okay, now, let's see how that looks. Actually, I usually go right, left, right, left. Oh, that's really pretty. I'm really happy with that. And then this place to write. That's really good. I like that. All right, let's keep moving. Okay. This piece, this is from the cut apart page, or the cut apart sheet, I should say, on the graphic 45 paper. It's going to go there. Right. Don't forget, get that right side up if it's directional like this one is. Okay. I'm just going to get that up and see if I can do it like that. The magnet is there, so be careful. You don't want to bruise your paper or tear anything. The graphic 45 is beautiful paper, but it's not as thick as some other papers, so you could damage it if you're not careful. Okay, alrighty, there we go. And then on the inside, this is actually from the same strip that I cut for the outside. I'm just going to flip it over and use the other side. I'm not going to take the back of the tape off. I don't usually, because once you take that off, it makes it a lot harder to get the mat in to place. So I'm just going to leave it there. Put that there. Make sure we're straight. And of course, it's going to bubble up a little bit over that magnet. So just work your way around it again, being careful not to bruise your paper. Okay, that's straight. Oh, not very, but that's fine. Okay, so that goes like that. That's really cute. Alrighty, now I have this page is going to go here. My turtle goes like that, and you can see this is going to hide this tab. Turtle up right. Okay. Let's put that there. Okay, nice. All right, there we go. And what's that? What am I sticking on? Oh, I think I have a little bit of tape or something right there. Well, it doesn't matter. It's going to get covered with mat. All right, now this one is going here, but I still haven't made up my mind which side I'm going to use, so I inked them both. So I'm going to put this one down first. And this is one of the larger cards from the ephemera pack. Again, mounted onto a piece of plain artisan navy cardstock. careful to make sure it's right side up. Okay, so that's just adorable. These cards, I don't know if I showed you these cards. Let me grab them so you can see them. What did I do with them? All right, where? I don't know what I did with them. Hang on a second. Here we go. All right, when you get these cards from Graphic 45, I think they call them the ephemera pack. What do they call them? Journaling and ephemera cards. And you get two sizes, 4x6 and 3x4. These little ones. And they have a decorative design on one side, and there's usually about half of them go vertically and half of them go horizontally. And then on the back side is a journaling spot, so you can use them either way. And then here's the large one, same thing. Half of them are going to go horizontally and half of them go vertically. And then on the back, they're just really, really cute. Isn't that one's so cute? So I'm going to see if I can find room to fit more of these in. Sometimes I get them and I don't use them too much in the albums, and I feel like maybe I should just design an album that only uses these or something, or some kind of project, because they're so cute. All right, now, I'm going to make up my mind here. Do I want to use that side? I think this side. I love this side. I love this paper, but I think this looks nicer. And if you put a photo there, I think it'll look nice. Okay. Sometimes it's hard to use the more plain side of the paper because the other sides are just so pretty, but sometimes it just makes more sense to use that side, design-wise. All right, and let's get that one centered and straight. And if you notice, as I'm doing these mats, I'm trying to keep them a little bit away from the folds, and a little, you know, I'm moving them a little bit to the more to the outsides, because there's just so much going on around the seams on this album that the less bulk I have in those spots, the better. I mean, on this page. Okay, so that is really, really cute. Okay, so that, and then we're going to do right, and left, and right, and left, and then tie it. And these, I found when I made the prototype, after you've opened and closed these a bunch of times and kept them tied for a little while, it's much easier. They just sort of fall into place. I guess the paper just gets trained for how it's supposed to go. Let's give that a tie. Done. All right. That looks really cute. This is page 7 of 8. So we're going to go ahead. Next time we're going to make page 8. And then we will be done with the pages. We'll make the covers. And then we're going to make all the inserts and tags and some decorations for the book. I haven't decided exactly how we're going to embellish it yet beyond the various tags. I hope you'll join me. I hope you've enjoyed this one. Again, if you've already purchased the book, go ahead and download it again, because I did find that one measurement error, so I've corrected it. And go ahead and like if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so that you can be notified whenever I post a new video. And then we'll finish up this book very soon. Just a few more episodes, I think. Probably one for page 8, one for the covers, and one for the embellishments. And then we'll be done, and we'll do a different one. I've already got a project in mind, so we'll see how that goes. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please comment down below if you've got any questions or comments you want to make. I'd appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks very much for watching.